Welcome to 4.2 in your Algebra 1 journal, page 103. We're going to be writing equations in point-slope form. So let's get this started off with point-slope form up here. Y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. For a line with slope m, I already had that written in there, forgot to erase that. And passing through the point x1, y1. If you look down here, you're going to see some more on this. It says basically the same thing right here. But right where I got these purple stars down here, you're going to take out the slope, put it in for m, take out x1, y1, put it in for the x1 and y1. Please note the y is first here, not the x. When I say first, I mean on the left. This is related to slope over here. That's another story. Quick example. So you've got your y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. Label things when you can. Slope. This is m. That's going to make that x1, y1. And just substitute it in. Y minus a negative 1 equals negative 2 times x minus 3. We don't distribute or anything. I am going to simplify this minus and negative into y plus 1 equals negative 2 times x plus 3. We will take this further a little bit later. So this is more of the same on this page. Let's do some even numbers here, 2 and 6. So again, label. You've already got the m labeled. Put your formula down. You guys are just learning this. You girls are just learning this. You kids are just learning this. Put the formula down. The more you write it, you're going to get it memorized. And then just look at your labels, substitute everything in. Y minus 5 equals 2 times x minus 3. That's all we got to do. We can see that one right there. That's our answer. Don't let fractions scare you in these. Eventually we're going to have to do some more. Y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. There's my x1, there's my y1. M is labeled. So I'm going to have y minus 2 equals negative 1/2 x minus 1. There's my answer right there. That's looking pretty good. These are the same problems we saw in 4.1. Write an equation in slope-intercept form. So we need the slope and we need the intercept. Well, I'm only going to do one of these. Let's do naughty number 9. Okay. Identify your slope. Identify the intercept. Well, there's my y-intercept. That's the point 0, negative 2. So my y-intercept is just negative 2. My slope, I could get this counting it out. Up 1 over 2. That gives me 1/2. Or you could use the points. x2, y2, x1, y1. My slope equals negative 1 minus negative 3. All over 2 minus negative 2. That's going to be negative 1 plus 3 over, that's going to go plus there, 4. That gives me 2 over 4, which is 1/2. If you can get it counting it out, it is a little quicker. And then just write it into your y equals mx plus b, your slope-intercept form. Y equals 1/2 x minus 2. And there we are down there. Same thing you did in chapter 8. We've done some of those on IXL. Hopefully those are getting more familiar to you. Now this is the same thing. It's just a little messier. Now we're going to take this one a little further. You're going to see we're going to use y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. But this gets a little funnier here. Okay, so we've got to do, this is going to be an x, this is going to be a y, so that gives me the point -3, -1. Whoops, that's not very legible. -3, -1, and this is an x, this is my y. Remember that, kids? You need these points, -2, 4. My slope is going to equal, again, we can do x2, y2, x1, y1, -1. Let me write this bigger. M equals -1 minus 4 all over -3 minus -2. It's going to go to plus plus. M equals -5 over -1, which is just good old 5. Okay. Now you can use either one of these points. It's going to work. So when we do y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. So again, I'm going to use this point that's already labeled x1, y1. You could use this as your x1, y1 if you wanted to. It's your choice. You're going to get the same answer either way. Plug it in. Y minus 4 equals, my slope is 5 times x minus a -2. That's going to go to plus a positive. I'm going to distribute this 5. Y minus 4 equals 5x plus 10. Then I have to plus 4 plus 4. I know I'm running out of room a little bit here. Y equals 5x plus 10. But if you look at these answers all over here, none of them have f of x, or none of them have y. So just take out the y, put in the f of x. Okay? So just remember, you have f of -3 equals -1. You're thinking f of x is the same as y. That's where I get x is -3, y was -1 for this point right there. So that'll be f of x equals 5x plus 10, or not 10, I'm sorry, 14. I forgot to add the 10 and the 4. And I caught that by looking at my answers over here. And that's that final answer. Sorry to run out of room on that and go into 14 a little bit, kids. Use scratch paper if you need it. You can use the space up here. This took up some space on my paper, which made it, I couldn't work to the left, so make sure you leave some room. I don't know why I did that one. I wanted to do 15 because that's my tough one. So again, this is going to give us the point -1, 2, and 3, 3. Remember, that's f of x equals y. Those are the same thing. X was -1, the y ended up being 2. x2, y2, x1, y1. So we're going to have our slope is equal to 2 minus 3 over -1 minus 3, which gives us -1 over -4, which is 1/4. Okay. Now set up our equation. Y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. So I'm going to use the x1 with the 3 and the 3. I could use the -1 and the 2. I'll use the -1 and the 2 just to show you here. Y minus 2 equals 1/4 x minus a -1. That's going to go to plus a positive. Y minus 2 equals 1/4 x plus 1/4. I'm going to plus 2 and plus 2. Remember, you can multiply to get a common denominator. 4 over 4 Or if you just know 8 over 4 is equal to 2, that's good. And that leaves me y equals 1/4 x plus 9/4. The 1/4 and 8/4 add up to 9/4. And we got it right there. Okay, you can get those other ones. Okay, 19 and 20, we got to see if these are linear first here. So this is going to be change in x over change in y. Again, that delta means change in x over change. I should write that out. Change in not x. Geez, I'm messing all up here. Y over change in x. And you got to check all of these, okay? So, okay. So be careful with this here, kids. Remember, these are your y's, these are your x's. So this is going to be like x1, x2, y1, y2. I'm just going to look at these two. I've got to check all these and make sure they come out even. If they don't, it's not linear, so you got to check them all. So I'm going to have -60 minus a -110 over -1 minus a -3. That goes to plus a positive. That's 50 over 2. That comes out to 25. Now I got to do the same thing, but with these numbers. So you're basically treating it the same. Things aren't changing. Just thinking of it like that now. And check it again. So we've got -35 minus -60 over 0 minus -1 plus a positive. That's 25 over 1 or 25. Oh, that's looking good. Those match up. So now I just did these two. I need to do these two. So again, x1, x2, y1, y2, -10 minus -35 over 1 minus 0 plus a positive. That's 25 over 1. That gives me 25. And then I got my last one here. And again, this is going to be my x2, x1, y2, y1. Whoops, y1, y2. Sorry about that. That's going to be 3 minus 1 over 40 minus, I get this upside down again, 40 minus -10 over 3 minus 1 plus a positive. There's 50 over 2, there's 25. So all these are in the same ratio. This are all actually our slopes. So we have our slope here. We want to write this in slope-intercept form. Well, I'm recognizing right here, that's got an x of 0. That's my y-intercept. So I can make this easier. I've got my slope right here. So this is going to be y equals 25x minus 35 from my y-intercept right there. And we got it. Only got a few seconds left here. This is our M on this one. Craig is driving at a constant speed. This goes with this problem. After driving for 3 hours, the odometer reads 265. So that's F of H equals, not of F of H, F of 3 equals 265. Use that, use the slope to get an equation. I'm pretty much out of time here. This is about to stop. Aloha.